Yeah, wow, best believe we got the crowd standing. Got them luchadors shut.
We are back. Episode 2 of the American Lucha Podcast is live. Well, technically not, but you know, what's up. I'm Andrew Vendelis, your host, and let's get cracking right away. Let's jump right into it. We have 2 guests. The second one you're going to have to guess a little bit for yourself, but he is the COO and promoter of American Lucha Wrestling. He is Andy C. What is up, Andy?
What's up, Andrew? How are you tonight?
Dude, I'm excited because we got a pretty special guest coming on later on in the podcast that I'm not going to reveal for anyone who didn't look on social media.
Yes. Yeah, I know who it is. It's not a secret to me, and you know it's what it is. It's a big secret. It is a big surprise.
This is what we call in the entertainment industry just clickbait. You got to wait and see. You gotta be able to just hold on for the last half of this podcast, and I promise you it's well worth the award. But what can you tell us about American Lucha Wrestling's future under this new surprise we have?
You know, we're all about bringing the best that the Mid-Atlantic has, and not just in the Mid-Atlantic. We're all about bringing, you know, young, fresh, hungry guys. It's so much out there, but it's one of those things where sometimes you gotta, you know, dig a little bit to find that piece of gold. And I think that this surprise that's coming up, you know, that's one of those pieces that, you know, you just had to dig, and then finally it came to light.
Definitely, man. And I spoke with Jason last week on the podcast, and couldn't have think for a better episode. Couldn't have been thankful for 2 great guests, also about to be 3. But New Year, I'm going to ask you the same question I asked Jason. New Year, what's American Lucha Wrestling? What are we trying to accomplish here?
Just to have more stability, to give a platform for guys that just want to show off their talents. That's what matters to us. Giving that platform to where we don't want to be that platform where, you know, people stay forever. You know, if you're talented, then we want you to go to that next level. We're not going to hold you back. We're actually looking to push guys forward. And I think that's one of those things that we're different. Of course, we don't want to see nobody go, but, you know,
Yeah.
it's one of those things to where you always want somebody to progress. Like the whole thing about American Lucha, we're all about progressing ourselves, but also progressing everyone else that is involved with us.
Yeah, and I think it's fair to say that, you know, if the brand does well, the superstars wrestlers, too much WWE watching has been programmed in me. But, you know, the wrestlers are doing well, you know, we're doing well, the promotion's doing well, everybody's happy, and we're all getting attention. I know you've said it to me, but, like, I think this goes to everyone a part of the American Lucha Wrestling family. Like, even if you leave, you're still a part of the family.
True. Yeah, so true. And, you know, we got, you know, we've had our hurdles, and we've had, you know, our baby steps to where, you know, sometimes you fall, but you just got to pick yourself back up and just, you know, keep on moving. And I think that's one thing about myself, Jason, and everybody involved with American Lucha is, you know, I think that we're using those little setbacks to kind of build us up more, to kind of give us more of that drive to say, you know what, we're just going to keep on going and see where it takes us. Nothing ever happened overnight.
No.
And we feel like that's one of those things that is just going to continue to help us drive and build and mold this into something that we want it to be.
Definitely, and let's get a little bit into your background. You know, how did you meet Jason, and how did this whole American Lucha Wrestling concept that, you know, even with our setbacks and all, we're blooming, I'd like to think, and we're growing and we're learning. How did it all start, though? We're coming up on a year, and I know I hammered home the end of the decade point with Jason ad nauseum in the last podcast, but how did this all start?
You know, it was one night at a wrestling event, and I had actually got seats, and the seats wasn't there, so I ended up going to different seats. And Jason and his partner that was running American Lucha Designs at the time were sitting right there beside where the other seats that I got transferred to. They were sitting right there, and we just started talking and uh, started talking about everything as far as who we seen could be, the next star, who could take wrestling to the next level, and then it turned into just every other day, just talking on the phone. Hey man, you see this going on in the wrestling world? You see that going on? And it kind of just grew into, hey man, look, have you ever run a wrestling show? I thought about it, never done it. So we both felt like that we had the same mindset on certain guys, as far as creative and booking, as far as just wanting to say, if we don't ever do this, then we're going to regret it. If we do it and we fail, then at least we tried.
Yeah, man.
So, that's just basically what happened. It just happened overnight, basically.
And it warms my heart, because I've known y'all since about April, May, and that's when I started to get in the mix with all that. And once again, thank you so much. But I've really seen the development of a brand here, and it's, as AEW would say, not too bad for a t-shirt or design company. But looking to 2020, what are you hoping to do? What are some short-term goals that you're hoping to get out there?
Oh, well, we're just looking to bring the best wrestling. We don't want to be the same old generic, wrestling promotion, and not knocking anybody at all.
Yeah.
But we don't want to be that same generic. You wrestle the same guy 15 times, and you have no form of growing if you're wrestling the same people. If you're matching up with the same folks every single week,
Especially in North Carolina, or like an independent
exactly.
market. Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
I mean, and it's so much talent out here to work, and those different kind of this different kind of atmospheres, is what builds you up. So
Definitely. And follow-up question to that, I guess, we got the behind the scenes on all the scoops and all that we can't drop just quite yet. Maybe as a Christmas or a New Year's present if things roll the right way. But looking to 2020 and looking at the roster you have or the roster you want to build, can you just tell me three wrestlers, male, female, whatever in between, that you really want to see pop out on the American Lucha Wrestling stage and really make a name for themselves if they haven't already?
I would have to say, our champion, Chris Taylor. He's been there since day one. Since the first show. And I see just more and more competitiveness coming, out of him. Um, as far as Malachi and Jackson, the wrestling prodigies, you can't talk enough about them. I think that where they're at right now, you almost think that they've hit their peak, but
Yeah.
then you look at it and they can go so much further. Like, to be so young and to be able to carry themselves the way they do is ridiculous.
Not to mention even I want those guys to be in this company for as long as they can, as just a tag team, because I've seen them in the ring and they're absolutely phenomenal. But even down the road, say they split up and they end up fighting for the title one day. What would you think about that?
I think that would definitely be a highlight reel.
Yeah.
I don't know if people are ready for that right now.
And we don't have to tell them.
Right. I mean, it was just. I mean, it's like painting like Picasso sitting there painting a picture. That's how I would envision that match between them two guys. Just because they're so light on their feet, and they bring the momentum, they bring the crowd into it. I mean, every time that those two young guys are out there, it's like, you can't stop the crowd from cheering. You can't stop the fans from just wanting to go crazy. So
Yeah.
those guys are just ridiculously crazy.
Yeah, they are, and they're the nicest guys in the world too. I know they have some unfinished business with skinny dudes with attitudes after Jay Malachi won the Lucha X title. And, Jacob Bryan, Selena Rose, all them, they rolled up on Jay Malachi and the Wrestling Prodigies. Where would you like to see this head? Because I see a little bit of Raven in this new side of Jacob Bryan. And I got to talk to him after the show, and he said he's never felt more alive.
Yeah, I mean, some of the stuff, their antics that they do, you know, you see the video with Big Country and Raven, and those guys, they are hardcore, unholy warfare, aka crazy son of a bitches. It is, I could see that coming from them. The antics that we've seen at Rent Free in Your Head from Jacob, it's kind of got me baffled because I didn't see it coming. But I feel like that as far as the prodigies, Jay Malachi and Jackson Drake, they've overcome almost anything and everything. So if I have to say that I see them and the skinny dudes going up against each other, that's a tough one. But I feel like that they can almost hold their own.
Definitely, and that's one thing I also appreciate is we got, and I said this again in the first podcast, but it's true. We have one of the most talented rosters, I think, out of anybody. What can you say to that bold claim by me, maybe?
Yeah, I have to fully agree, and with the special guest that's coming on, that little surprise that you have, big surprise that you have coming on after me, it's only going to sweeten the deal. This is, we take pride in every person that's on our show. We take pride in every member of the roster, every guy from the referee to the commentator to, all the way up to our champion. The sky's the limit for all those guys. And I'm going to be a little bit, what is the word? I would be a little bit judgmental or whatever, but yeah, I'm going to be like you and say we do have the best. Because we have Kent Alpha Wolf, who I heard you and Jason talking about last week.
Dude, that guy's amazing. I could talk about him forever. I could talk about our special guest forever. I could talk about the Wrestling Prodigies forever as well. Like, I don't think I've been to an independent wrestling show where every match has been something fresh and entertaining at the same time.
Exactly. I think that, for me, after we had, sit down about this surprise coming on later, I feel like that it's coming back to where American Lucha, it's about to get that fire again. It's about to get that burn, like we did when we first started. I feel like that's only a matter of time before, we kick it into high gear once again and say, you know what, we're going, heavy on the gas and just going to go until we stop. And I don't see a stopping point at the moment, so we're just going to keep on going.
Definitely, man. And I know you got a rest of the day to take care of over here, so I'll let you go in a minute. But one last question for anyone who doesn't know what American Lucha Wrestling is, anyone who might not know who the Wrestling Prodigies or Chris TNT Taylor or Kent Wolf or anyone else is, give me your American Lucha Wrestling commercial, for lack of a better word. Give me your sales pitch for this promotion as it reaches 1 year.
I would have to say, if you're looking for something different, if you're looking for something that's maybe not your cup of tea, something that is definitely not watered down, just check out American Lucha. And don't judge us by what you hear or any aspect like that. Come and see for yourself. Always make that decision on what we show you, not by what you hear, because we're always going to have something different that blows your mind. And you can expect anything from us. Anything.
Anything.
We've had unholy warfares, which is not some people's cup of tea, but some people love it. Some people love seeing it. We have Selena Rose. We've had Casey Fox, and the women's roster is just going to grow. So if you like women's wrestling, that's your cup of tea. Come on out. We have so much that is about to happen over this next year that it blows our mind. It makes us pop. It makes us happy, knowing what the future holds for us.
Yeah, man, and I gotta say, like, I've never marked out on anything I've ever called or commentated, but I think rent-free in your head, I had a couple moments where I was just like, holy shit, this is pretty cool.
Yeah. I mean, and it's only the beginning.
Absolutely.
And like I said, to us, the road is not ending anytime soon. So we're just strapping in for the ride.
Yeah, so I guess your message to the ALW fans out there would just be, stay posted, stay tuned, because you never know who's going to come to us or where we're going to be next, I guess.
Exactly.
Well, Andy, I thank you so much for your time coming on the podcast, giving me the platform to do this for y'all as well. And I want to say it publicly on the air, like, I could not be more grateful for the opportunity.
Awesome, and we thank you because we could not have found anybody better to bring a podcast out, do commentary, ring announcing, everything that you've done. You're a walking billboard for American Lucha. And
don't make me hang up on you before you make me blush. All right, man. Well, I'm going to let you go. You have a good one.
Thank you, Andrew.
All right, take care. You do not want to miss what is coming up next on the American Lucha Podcast. What is it? Who is it? When is it? Why is it? Where is it? How is it even? It doesn't matter. Just stay tuned, because it's going to punch you right in the face.
Hold it down, American Lucha Libre.
We're back here on the second episode of the American Lucha Podcast, and I have a very special guest because that son of a bitch, Jason Gallo, tweeted it out before I could get him on. But here he is. He's back in American Lucha Wrestling. Ted TKO Ireland Jr. Ted, how are you?
I'm doing fine. I'm doing good, man. How about yourself?
Dude, a lot better now that I heard that you're coming back, and I'm excited for as much as anybody in the promotion is. I got to hear about it on Saturday. Had to keep my mouth shut, but knew I had to hit you up right away. What led you back to come into American Lucha Wrestling?
Well, first of all, thank you for the excitement. I feel the same here. I'll tell you, first of all, I feel like a number one draft pick, going in. I really do, man. It just feels like, it feels good to feel wanted. Not to talk about it anywhere else, but I know that American Lucha, we had talks, and what led me back is to realize that there's a fan base and there's a group of people that needs me to be there for them. Because once again, I know I'm the man with the power. I know I can knock out anybody in front of me. So knowing that, being in front of this group of people that showed me love from day one, I need to get back and show them the man that they've seen from day one.
Dude, if you feel like the number one draft pick, I feel like Roger f***ing Goodell. So we're happy to have you. And yeah, man, it's been a while since we last spoke. I believe in like April, man. What's been going on since then? April to December, wrapping up your year. What's been going on in the life of TKO?
Well, first thing was I had foot surgery shortly after me and you had an interview when we last spoke. I had foot surgery June 6th. And at that time, that's my second foot procedure I had in 2 years. So I was kind of nervous going into it because I just won a new title at the time, and everything was good, and I was leaving on a high, and I kind of, it was some dark times, in my mind where I was sitting at home, and all I could do is sit here in my garage, which I kind of call the Legion of Doom, I guess, the boom boom room. And the main thing with that was that these pictures are here. I got the posters from the first show. I got the picture from the first event that I was there, the second event, and man, the tears I shed, the blood I had to sit there and overcome everything. And I had to realize in my mind that, I just sat here, and it just felt like I couldn't get myself back together. I really couldn't for a while.
So what changed in your mindset? I know you're one of the strongest people out there in the North Carolina professional wrestling scene. So what really changed and what helped you turn it all around?
Honestly, it was my daughters. My wedding was coming up soon. At that time, I got married in August. So
congrats once again, just for the public now.
Hey, appreciate it.
Sorry, ladies. Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah, so I sat there, and my kids, what it was my youngest daughter, she's Tiana, she's 3. She started making fun of me. So I'm going around the house on crutches with both my feet just in boots. I couldn't really walk, and my daughter should sit there like, I'm dead, just be funny and try to sit there and emulate me and make jokes about me.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, if my 3-year-old daughter's making jokes, making me seem like a punk, then I need to get off my butt and stop feeling sorry for myself. So after that, I just got back in that ring, and I just started working. I've been practicing. I got a little bit of work in before I've been shut down again for a little bit, but that's why I'm ready for this return.
I was going to say, stepping back into the ring after any injury, I'm assuming, is not fun, but, like, what was it like to get back in there and, kind of retrace your steps and get back to where you were before your injury?
Right. Being out 3 months at the time, like, I wanted to take my time. My doctor said be out 2. And so I did that, and I took a month to get back in the gym and be able to start to get some of my muscle back and get some of that memory going. But, yeah, when it got back into the ring, the first couple of things was, especially my toes were operated. I had to get hammer toe surgery, and also they had to shave down the bones of my other joints and areas. So, yeah, it was pretty bad. So when it came to a lot of the things like doing burpees or doing push-ups, I couldn't necessarily be on my toes. So a lot of the times I had to kind of modify some of the things I was doing. I was taking it a little bit slow at first, but after some of the words started to leave, that's when I started to pick it back up.
Definitely. So I'm one who doesn't like to pull back and likes to hit the hard questions, and I couldn't help but mention, you felt like you weren't wanted, and I'm not going to ask for any names, but I just got one question. Who the hell wouldn't want Ted Ireland Jr.?
That's beyond me, because one thing I had to realize is that I was comfortable for a while where I was at.
Yeah.
I think that I got many opportunities and didn't get there's more out there. And so recently, after I got married, I talked to my wife and I told her that it's time for me to hit the road. But at first, I need to go to a different state of learning how to wrestle. So I recently started doing other practices at other facilities and going to their training facilities to earn the respect of other wrestlers. Because I think, once again, it's a cold business. I did not know going a year in that sometimes a lot of doors may be open to some, but not to yourself. And sometimes leaves you questioning why. Like, what did I do? And then, it's just a business. Like, to know now that when you go out here, once again, you're always looking for opportunity, and you always want to learn to respect others and how to do it on the road. So taking these new trips I've been doing recently, I've been taking new trips to go out there and try to learn more, try to be, anyway, it's a different experience rather than when you show up somewhere, you just feel like you automatically on the card and you the man.
Yeah.
And you already had your mind set up. It's different when you're looking for the opportunity. So a lot of times when you don't get it, it's not discouraging, but it kind of makes you sit back and think, Teddy, what am I doing wrong? Why am I not on that card? So it makes you kind of go back and think, maybe I need to work out harder. Maybe I need to work more on my promos. You got to pretty much get yourself out there a little bit more.
Definitely. So it's known now. You're coming back to American Lucha Wrestling, and you talked about all what we just talked about, some of the struggles you had to go through, whether it's, in the ring or dealing with injury. When you hit the ring, when you hit that American Lucha Wrestling ring, what do you want to accomplish?
I think first thing, we got a very, very big attention span that's seen us out there, that knows what we're doing out here, and at the same time they know that me and TNT are cool fans. That's my brother, and we lost the belts, and that was a bad situation, and it's okay, because once again we had things we had to do, but we're back and looking into possibly me and him talking once again, getting back communicating, see if we can work something out. Or maybe I can go a different way. I think of late, I see myself as more of a single star. I don't think that it's about anybody else so much. I just think right now I'm worried about myself. I'm worried about what TKO can do. I'm bred for championships. I'm not bred to always, feel like I have to work with somebody.
You want to be the man. You want to be the guy.
I want to be the man. Yes, I think when American Lucha, like I said, to feel like a number one draft pick, feel like the franchise of American Lucha Wrestling, to me, that's important. And I'm going to come in there and show everybody they will respect me because my attitude is a little bit different now. I don't come in there as much as where I'm smiling and happy. I come in there with a little bit more fire because now it's about what I want to do. It's my time.
Wow, I know Christine T. Taylor's got his hands a little bit full with John Evans, but he might want to keep his eyes out for, his former buddy, his former tag partner, Ted Ireland Jr., and what a program I'd love to see. Is there anyone else, from ALW or just anyone you, off the top of your head, would want to get in the ring with and just, show like, hey, I'm back?
I'll tell you one thing. I've seen Chris last recent matches. I've been watching them. I haven't stopped doing that. That's one thing I do. I study everybody that I
It's like film. Yeah.
Well, I have to. It's like, once again, I go to the lab, I say it, and I put in nothing but time while I say and work out and watch every single person and what they're doing. So I know Chris is on a high streak, and I'm proud of him. I got enough respect for the guy because, once again, he showed me a lot, and we worked together as a good partnership. So as far as I'm concerned, I think I want to show everybody that this young kid can go, and I really would like to go against Cam Carter one day.
Cam Carter, oh my God. What a match that would be. He was at Rent Free for Your Head, our event in October, and I was blown away by him. I thought he was very talented. He walked up into the arena, acted like he owned the place, and boy, did he ever.
Right, because I think with my style, see, my background is boxing.
Yep.
That's one thing that I know. I know how to throw hands. Now, I know with these other guys out here, I may not have the veteranship that the other guys got in the ring, but I can go. That's one thing for sure. I think everybody in the crowd knows my passion is just the same as anybody else in there. And I look at Cam Carter as a man that has a lot of passion and has a lot of drive. And I want to show these people that I can prove to them I can go to limit with this guy and possibly beat this guy. I really believe that. Now, I'm not talking crap, not calling him out, but I'm just saying that I expect when I come back that I want top tier talent because they're going to go across me and they're going to be like, dang, that man right there can go.
You're accepting all challenges, all comers. That's awesome. Ted, I know we're looking forward to having you in American Lucha Wrestling once more, but where can the people find you in the meantime? Give yourself a little bit of a shameless plug, man.
All right, I appreciate that opportunity.
Absolutely.
As far as a lot of people know already, where I worked before is at CWF. We have a show coming up on January 28th. That's coming up real soon. It's called Battlecade 20. That's our big WrestleMania show. Wish everybody come out. We really need a lot of support. With that, I'm also going on the road this weekend and next weekend with the Ace God Supreme, Eric Royal. And I'm going out there also with BK Westbrook. These two guys, I roll with them and try to sit there and get an opportunity. You know what I'm saying? I'll sit here and follow the footsteps of the Ace God and see what can happen. I know I've been in talks with other promotions trying to really sit here and get 2020 started up real fired up and let this Street King be put out there to let everybody know that I'm the man that can go. And I'm the man going to sit there and bring it 100% every time. So when you're booking me, you're booking the best in the business. As far as I'm concerned. But I tell you right now, when it comes to American Lucha, I know they have a day coming up real soon. See, when I'm in talks with American Lucha,
yeah,
we're sitting here trying to figure out the right game plan to put the franchise, put the number one draft pick into the right position. So I think that when it comes to American Lucha, pay attention. Watch Twitter. You can hit me up on Twitter and Instagram at TKO336.
There you
can
go.
Also hit me up on Facebook, TKO Ted Ireland Jr. Once again, I'm gonna start getting back out here and let people know. I've been quiet for a while because personally, I've been sitting here training hard, listening, respecting, taking my time. So when people see me come back out, they know they're messing with the real one.
Absolutely, Ted. I'm looking forward to having you as much as everybody else, and I know we both got to keep our tongues bitten a little bit on what's coming up next for American Lucha Wrestling, but I do appreciate the time you take out of your day to come speak to me about this. Ted Ireland Jr., everybody. Ted, we look forward to having you back, and I hope you have a good one, man.
You too, brother, man. See you soon.
All right, peace. Another week another American Lucha podcast in the books. What a bombshell by Ted Ireland Jr. coming back to American Lucha Wrestling, looking to fight anyone, everyone. He dubbed himself the Street King, along with TKO. This man is special, people. I've said it since April when I first did a story on him. God bless Elon University for letting me do that, by the way. Professional wrestling freaking rules. But this man, he said it himself. He's the number 1 draft pick. He is the guy. But I do want to see what Christian T. Taylor has to say about that. So who knows? Maybe next week the ALW champion may or may not be coming on the American Lucha podcast. Little cliffhanger for you. That's how we like to do it here at American Lucha Wrestling. We like to leave you on the edge of your seat. And if you like what you saw and you like what you heard on this podcast and the last one, feel free to let us know. Our podcasts go up every week at podcasts.com. and on American Lucha Wrestling's Twitter site, which you can follow at Lucha American. We got plenty of exciting announcements left to be said on the table, probably on the podcast, maybe on the Twitter, but stay informed nevertheless. And until next time, I'm Andrew Vendelis, and this was the American Lucha Podcast.